Hi everyone, I'm Sanjana, JANJ's Fireside Chat Coordinator, and I'm here with Kim for another Fireside Chat. Kim, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so first, could you tell us a bit about your educational and professional backgrounds and the path that you took to get to where you are today?
Sure. So I am the publisher and vice president at NJ Advanced Media, which is the largest media company in the state of New Jersey. Out of school, my initial job was working at a real estate office, and I did different office work, and then I was in charge of marketing for all of the real estate agents. And, one day I was there just doing my thing, and our local media sales rep came in and she said, "Hey, I know you really have an interest in working in marketing, and we have some entry-level positions that are opening up. And it could be a great way for you to maybe just get your foot in the door and, then maybe get something with our marketing team." So I applied and, I decided to move forward with going to work for them. So in 2000, I started working there as an entry-level sales assistant. And I stayed with that company for about 6 years. And during that time, I had literally every job in the building. I worked as a sales assistant. I worked on pre-print advertising. I even did a very short stint as a finance assistant. I was a classified ad taker, a sales consultant, and eventually by the time I left there, I had moved up to being a supervisor within the sales department. So 6 years, and I never touched the marketing department because I realized I really loved working with customers. I really liked, understanding different people's businesses and helping them grow their businesses through their marketing. So it was a different path than what I initially thought that I would be doing. Then in 2006, I was approached by a recruiter for the Star Ledger, and they are the largest newspaper in New Jersey. And I was offered a sales role there. And on paper, it was a little bit of a demotion, but I thought, well, you know what? It's a bigger company. There's going to be more opportunity there. And I also then had to take on this commute up to Newark from where I lived. And I'm this little small town girl from South Jersey. So it was a big deal for me. So I would be handling much bigger clients, advertising agencies, going into New York City. And at the time I thought, this is it, right? I was so excited about taking this job. So I started working for the Star Ledger, like I said, in 2016. And, again, I did so many different jobs. I moved around into different departments and different teams, getting to work with different size clients. It was awesome. And in 2014, we merged with our digital arm, which is NJ.com, and we formed a new company, NJ Advanced Media, as it exists today. So, I've just continued to reinvent myself, include myself in different meetings, constantly learning new things. And like I said at the beginning, now I am the publisher of our lifestyle and entertainment brand. It's called Jersey's Best. And I am a vice president over advertising sales. And I primarily work on healthcare marketing and business development for Northern New Jersey.
Wow, that was really fascinating. And it definitely seems like you were able to, take opportunities that you wanted to take and sort of stray away from being stuck in a position you didn't want to be in. So that's very, very cool to hear.
Yeah.
All right. So did you have any significant extracurricular experiences in high school and or college that you feel really helped you later on in your career?
So I would say the one thing that I did that was really life-changing is a very extreme thing to say, but it was mind-changing for me, was I got involved in a club called DECA in high school. And I also participated in it in college as well. And DECA is Distributive Education Clubs of America. So it's an association of marketing students. And basically what you do is you prepare to go to conferences and competitions and sort of pitch a business plan to a panel of business leaders. And they judge you and they determine, they help you sort of develop this business plan and teach you different different things that you need to know, in the professional world. And I just loved DECA. I thought it was so fun. I can remember, we had to create our own radio commercial. So I had, one tape deck over here playing background music and another one over here where I hit record. And I had to read my own radio commercial. And it was just, I don't know, at the time to me was just so fun. And I won a trip to Orlando, Florida, my senior year of high school. So that was really exciting. And I don't know, I just learned so many valuable lessons from that. Public speaking, interviewing skills, how to build a business plan, how to network, how to ask for money. There was a whole finance aspect to it too. So I would say, anyone that has an interest in marketing or sales or business, DECA is the place to be. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I actually can completely relate because I was in FBLA, if you know what that is.
Mhm.
Basically the same type of club, Future Business Leaders of America. And I did the same thing, going to conferences and presenting in front of judges and all that. And I completely agree with what you said at the end there. I think anyone who has an interest in business should definitely get involved with DECA or FBLA, just having that real world, conference experience, being able to network and present. It's really just so invaluable. So I
Yeah,
love that you brought that
completely
up.
agree. Yeah, thank you.
All right. So lastly, what advice would you give to young people who will be embarking on their professional lives soon?
One thing, and I always tell my daughters this too, is that, there's a quote that I learned many years ago, early on in my career, and it's that success is where preparation meets opportunity. So you're going to get a lot of opportunities in your life and in your career, but you have to really be prepared, because if you're not prepared and the opportunity comes, number one, you might be too scared to take it. And number two, you might be overlooked because you're just missing that something, that one thing. So I feel like you really need to have a very understand your craft, network, really get a really strong support system behind you of women and men who will, talk about you in a positive way when you're not in the room. People who will recommend you for assignments and opportunities and growth initiatives that you might not think of for yourself, I think is just invaluable. And then again, to go back to the first point I made, sometimes everything doesn't immediately feel perfect. And it doesn't matter. You need to do it anyway, because, you can always learn what you don't know. And the first time I was offered a job in management, I came home and I was like, what am I going to do? I don't know how to do a budget. I don't know how to set goals. I can't do any of these things. How could they think I could be a good manager? And, I called up, some of my girlfriends and we were talking through it together. And, they were like, are you crazy? You were made for this. Forget it. You can stay up all night and learn how to do a budget. You take a class and learn how to set goals for people. And it's true. My kids were really small at the time, and my husband would take them to the park on a Sunday, and I would, teach myself Excel and teach myself budgeting and teach myself, how to set like proper sales goals for people. And I just think that so many young people miss opportunities because they don't think they have exactly the right qualifications. Well, you know what? No one does. And there is such a thing as on-the-job training, and there is such a thing as, taking the initiative to just do it for yourself a little bit too. And so I guess that's my biggest advice to people, entering the workforce. Just go for it. And, there's this crazy thing called Google. You could teach yourself anything. And that's my advice.
Thank you so much for sharing that. That was seriously fabulous advice. And I think at any stage of your life, it applies very heavily. So thanks again. And thank you so much for this entire session. This was great. I learned a lot, and I know everyone who views it will too. So thanks.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you interviewing me and letting me be involved in your organization, which I think is invaluable to young people. So thank you.
Of course.